Over the years, YouTube has become a major entertainment platform, one where anyone can make a name for themselves. We've seen people rise to YouTube stardom, and others abandon it entirely. But some people remain in between. Those once popular channels that managed to lose their audience, but never quite stopped making videos. In this video, I'm going to be talking about 5 YouTubers who've fallen off from their once well-known position into a place of obscurity. These are channels that are losing subscribers and get noticeably less views than they used to get. These are in no particular order, by the way, so let's get right into it. Ray William Johnson is one of the most well-known YouTubers of all time, and of course, most of you are probably familiar with him. His format for making videos was to compile a bunch of funny viral videos and present them with funny jokes and commentary throughout.
And did you notice that that kind of looks like a human soul if you were to trap it in a glass? Maybe that's where the gingers keep their souls. No, come on, I'm kidding. Gingers don't have souls.
It turns out this was an insanely popular format. From 2009 to 2011, Ray William Johnson amassed 5 million subscribers, the most on YouTube at the time. He continued making these videos until 2013, where he announced his retirement from it. While Ray himself lost interest in the show and went on to create other web series and pursue acting roles, he did pass the host position of the show over to new people. First, to Robbie Motz, who initially was met with some negativity by Ray's fans, but I think eventually Robbie sort of grew on them. However, the same can't be said about Xjawz Martin, who was not well received at all. Almost all the Equals3 videos hosted by her have a majority of dislikes and negative comments berating both her and the direction the show was taking. Her style of humor was very forced and artificial. It just felt awkward even watching it.
So this guy is dressed up like Darth Vader and is killing it on his entrance. I have a bad feeling about this. Oh, called it. See, I had a bad feeling and then he fell. Yeah, I'm half psychic, half African American. I mean, the Force was with him. Force of gravity.
Just, so many stupid puns and cheesy jokes in every episode of hers. Xjawz was replaced not too long after, probably due to all the negative outcry. In her place, and the latest host of Equals3, is Carlos Santos. However, from what I can tell, it doesn't seem like Equals3 puts out many episodes, if any at all, anymore. Their last upload was 8 months ago, and the majority of videos that do still get posted are mainly just clips and snippets from Ray's Facebook. The channel is bleeding out subscribers and quickly falling into irrelevancy. As far as Ray himself goes, he seems to be mainly focused on Facebook and Instagram videos, as well as continuing to pursue his acting career. The next channel on this list has been around for longer than all the others. In fact, it's been around longer than probably 90% of YouTube channels today. I'm talking about the What the Buck Show. In 2006, YouTube was a very different place, and for the time, Michael Buckley really stood out. As an outspoken, flamboyant, unashamedly gay and fast-talking man, What the Buck quickly grew as one of the top news and vlogging channels on YouTube.
That's it. I am boycotting result shows. Result shows should be 5 minutes. You lose. Go home.
He even collaborated with Chris Crocker and a few other gay YouTubers back in 2007. What the Buck regularly made videos reporting on the news and pop culture, all while giving constant sarcastic commentary and snarky remarks. However, as YouTube and social media evolved, What the Buck's shtick did not. He continued making videos in this format for many years. Finally, in July 2016, he announced some changes to his channel and the style of videos he would make. Unfortunately, not much has changed for him. He makes some more personal videos and has an alternate channel that he frequently uploads on, but for the most part, his content is still very similar to what it was and always has been. As a result, his channel has largely stagnated. What the Buck is steadily losing subscribers and has been for some time now. I actually think that Michael has potential to make a comeback, but he should consider adding more production value to his videos. A guy simply talking into a camera for a few minutes about random topics isn't really that compelling. If Buckley actually tries to be more creative with his videos and topics, he might see some more success, because I think underneath it all, he could be an interesting commentator. Few channels have been in a position as unique as Epic Mealtime. Owned by Harley Morenstein, Epic Mealtime started with a viral video back in 2010 with Harley and some of his friends putting fast food on top of pizza. The channel immediately grew, and each subsequent video featured a more extreme meal and new guests. The cast of the show became well known in their own right, most notably Alex Peralt, also known as Muscles Glasses, Cousin Dave, and Tyler Lemko. These characters brought a huge amount of personality to the videos, and Harley's over-the-top narration of the food made Epic Mealtime really stand out. The show would even go on to feature some celebrity appearances such as Seth Rogen and James Franco. While Epic Mealtime enjoyed success for years, starting in 2011 all the way up to 2013, there was a dispute amongst its members regarding ownership and pay. As a result, the popular Muscles Glasses, Tyler, and Cousin Dave, along with a few other members, left the crew. Nowadays, the Epic Mealtime crew is almost completely different from when they started, but the videos they pump out are far from it. It seems like the format of making extreme meals, which basically just means huge quantities of meat and bacon, is not as interesting to people as it once was. On average, Epic Mealtime used to get easily over 1 million or even sometimes a couple million views per video. Nowadays, they get less than half of that. It's not so much that they are running out of ideas for food, although that may be a part of it, but more so that their format is just not as interesting or impressive as it once was. Compared to Matt Stoney, who's a competitive eater and YouTuber, it's not really impressive. Seeing people make a larger than average amount of food can get boring and repetitive, but seeing Matt do seemingly inhuman feats when it comes to eating huge amounts of food, that will always be impressive, because it's something that only a select few people can do. On the other hand, channels like Munchies, which is a part of Vice, offers stories and insight into food and the culture surrounding them in a way that lets you learn something or be inspired in some way. Epic Mealtime is neither inspiring or very impressive. It initially had a lot of shock value to it, but that will always wear off over time. Because Epic Mealtime is such a large channel, it will be a while before they would ever get to that same point as others on the list in terms of views, but you can certainly see their lack of growth and their disparity between the views that they used to get compared to now. You're starting to see Epic Mealtime regularly lose subscribers, which is pretty crazy for a channel of this size to not be growing. Overall, it seems like they're on the downward trend, and unless Epic Mealtime reinvents themselves, it's likely that this will only continue. Back in 2008, it was the height of the console wars. The fandoms of the Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, and Nintendo Wii fought over which of these consoles was better over YouTube and other sites. One of the people who made a name for himself off of doing this was none other than LPres Adore.
You idiots that bought the Microsoft Xbox. Now look at you. Look at you. All you do is cry about the greatest gaming system ever. PlayStation 3.
Now, he is a much smaller channel than the other channels on this list, but he is still decently big with over 200,000 subscribers. LPres Adore initially made a name for himself by making bold statements on how the Xbox 360 sucked and how the PS3 was far superior. Basically, he was an outspoken douchebag gamer who made videos. He went on to make some gameplay commentaries and more divisive statements against the Xbox and its fans.
That's all I'm gonna tell you. Sell your 360s and go get a trade. Do not think in the now, think in the future, which the future is now. Like I did 3 years ago, I thought in the future, that's why I got the trade. Because I knew this day was gonna come.
As the console wars died off, however, LPres Adore's content had to change, and it did. He started talking about sports, specifically the NFL and his thoughts on the latest football news in vlog-style videos, oftentimes when he's in his car for some reason. Some of these videos were popular, but ultimately he has had a much smaller audience with these vlogs than he did ranting about consoles and games. He also made rants on politics and more serious issues, but his perspectives there are about as nuanced as his perspectives with gaming. LPres Adore is daily losing subscribers and has overall gone down in terms of monthly views. It seems his audience was only interested in his extreme views in the gaming world and not so much for his football vlogs from his car. But again, I think this is sort of an issue of production value. Sure, LPres Adore got big off of his bold and brass statements initially, but you have to be more creative in the way that you present yourself if you want to really grow your audience, I think. And pretty much, if you've seen one video from LPres Adore, you've basically seen them all.
Let's be real about it, people. At 48 fucking years old, I wear Under Armour better than any motherfucking model they fucking have. Seriously, think about that. I wear these fucking clothes better than any motherfucker they had fucking wearing them. Any fucking model they have in that fucking store. Whatever.
The last YouTuber on this list is also known as a gamer. In fact, for a time, he was one of the largest gaming commentary channels on YouTube. I'm talking about Xjawz. Xjawz would play Call of Duty games and provide commentary over his gameplay, giving out tips and guides to his viewers on how to do certain things. Call of Duty, of course, was one of the biggest gaming franchises, and thus he had a huge audience who was interested in his videos. Like everyone else on this list, Xjawz was able to stand out for his lively, unique, and clean commentary. He explained things well, and it was easy to listen to while also being entertaining entertaining for many people. Over the years, however, Xjawz's popularity started waning. This might have been in part due to the fact that other gaming commentary channels started rising up and doing what he did better, or another factor could have been his own irresponsibility with his channel while getting involved with drugs and new cars and material possessions instead of focusing on making new and interesting videos for his fans. If you look at his upload dates, you will see that Xjawz has frequently left then returned to YouTube many times, and yet each time he's unable to recapture the same success that got him popular originally. He still uploads videos occasionally, following a very similar format to his videos from 6 or 7 years ago, only with newer games.
The number one thing, my absolute favorite thing about this game, and that I really wish Call of Duty would learn from, is really well-designed 3-lane maps.
As with everyone else on this list, Xjawz is also hemorrhaging subscribers and is a shell of the channel that it used to be. I think in order to actually make a comeback, Xjawz needs to get with the times and realize that there's so many other YouTubers doing his format in a much better way even. He should either get on their level of production or reinvent himself and try something completely new. One thing is for sure though, the old format of basic commentary and tips isn't exactly working for him anymore.
Well, there you have it, guys. 5 YouTubers who've sort of fallen off and maybe why they have. But look, I'm not trying to put any of these channels in this list down or anyone in their position down. In fact, I hope a lot of these channels turn around and do find some more success. But in a lot of ways, popular YouTube channels are like popular TV shows. And no matter how popular or successful a TV show is, there comes a point where it has to be canceled, and room has to be made for something new. In that same way, popular channels on YouTube could easily die off, and if they don't stay creative, could be replaced by something that is. Oh, and there was one more YouTube channel that I wanted to include in this list, but he's actually so bizarre and such an interesting case that I feel like it warrants its own video. So let me know if that's something that you might want to see in the future. Anyways, thanks for watching. This has been Glink, and who knows? Maybe one day I'll end up on a list like this, but you know, it wouldn't be for making shitty videos because I would never do that. Right?
You!